Hey guys, the Aztec is back from the shop. So we're going to take it up today for a post-maintenance flight, make sure everything is running well. I've got a trip planned this Saturday to Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if I'll be able to film that. I always ask the passengers if they want to be in a video. And if they say no or hesitate at all, then that's the end of it. I never ask their permission to be in a video. I always ask them if they want to be in a video, because I don't want to pressure anyone to do that. So if they say yes, I'll film that. If not, let's see what we can do today in the air. I'm also going to talk about, should you ride with your friend if he's a pilot and owns a general aviation airplane? Stick around and learn what kind of questions you should ask if you're considering doing that. Stay tuned. All right. We're in the Aztec. We've completed our pre-flight inspections. Everything is looking good. Heat's working. All my avionics are on. All electrical anomalies have been resolved. Thank God. I'm waiting on the oil to warm up a little so I can do a run-up. Let's do the things that we can do before running up the engine. Let's see where we're at here. Well, you know what? We can get the ATIS for now. Let's get the ATIS.
Localizer, Niner, out of service. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Foxtrot.
Foxtrot.
Lewis University Tower.
Information. Foxtrot. 1656 Zulu. Wind 060 at 12 knots. Visibility 10. Statute miles. Sky clear below 12,000. Temperature -2. Dew point -10. Altimeter tree 044. RNAV approach in use. Landing and departing runway Niner. Localizer Niner out of service. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Foxtrot.
Lewis University Tower.
Information. Foxtrot.
Yeah, we've got information. Foxtrot.
6.
There's ground, there's tower. Oh, that heat is nice. It's cooking. Everything's working perfectly. Let's see what's next on the list. All right, that ATIS is fresh. It's 11:10, so perfect. We've got the ATIS. We've set the altimeter. Transponder is on alt squawk, squawking 1200. ADSB is on. All my lights are on. Test the brakes. Let it roll a little. Brakes are good. Attitude indicator, blue is up, green is down. Whiskey compass, no cracks, no bubbles, no troubles. Turn coordinator. When we start taxiing, we'll see if it acts normal. Turn left. Okay, you gotta go a little faster. Right, the compass and the HSI are matching. The heats or the oil temperature at 90. I like to wait for it to get about 100, and then I'll do the run up. Electrical trim. Let's see here. Working. Let's set the trim for takeoff. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I like to leave it at the top of the box. Flight controls. Oh, here's a good one. I did this in the Archer the other day, and now I can show it in the Aztec. People were concerned with the iPad being on the yoke. They thought that it wasn't a safe place to keep the iPad because it would limit the range of the controls. But as you can see, like I said, I always put the thumbs up, and then when you turn right, that aileron goes up. You turn left, your thumbs are pointing left, that aileron goes up. You can do the same thing when you pull. up, up, full range of motion. So again, if it wasn't, every flight, every pilot does this. So if you're unable to get free, correct, and clear motions, then you wouldn't keep it here. You would move it to another spot. Otherwise, you're just gambling with your own life, which is silly. All right, let's see. Ooh, it's getting really warm in here. Let's turn this down a hair. All right, so flight controls, free, clear, and correct, full range of motion. Instruments, oil pressure is good. Oil temperature is at 100 now, so we're good. We got fuel pressure, we got amps and volts. We've got 41 gallons of fuel in the outboard tanks. That's what we're on. We're going to fly those. We've only got 8 gallons in each of the inboards. We'll leave that alone. Fuel flows are good. Everything's great. All right, we bring the mixture full power. And bring the RPMs to 1500, holding the brakes. All right, 1500. We'll do a feather test. We'll do the left one first. RPMs dropped, manifold pressure. Right, RPMs dropped, manifold pressure goes up. Now we'll bring them up to 2200 RPMs, continue the run up. All right, we're going to cycle the props. Left, RPMs, down, up, right, down, up. One more time, down, up, down, up. We're also watching the manifold pressure at the same time, and now we watch the oil pressure. Down, coming back up, down, coming back up. All right, so that means the oil is working. Mags test, let's do the right ones first. Watching the manifold, the RPMs. All right, we got the RPMs dropped to 2160, 2150, that's good. We'll do the left ones. $2100, 2010, 2110. All right, 2110, 2110, that's good. Turn them back on. Vacuum, good. Amps and volts, well, oil pressure is good, oil temperature is good. Fuel pressure, amps and volts, everything is good there. Alternators are good. And then we do an idle check. Slowly bring back the idle. Lean out, I'm an aggressive leaner. And then bring it up to 1,000. All right, Aztec is ready for flight. All right, there we go. I'll loosen up the friction lock just a hair. I'm going to turn the heat up just a hair. Keep it on medium heat. I'm still trying to figure out the exact spot I like it for the heat to stay on. All right, let's go ahead and start taxiing up there. We have information Foxtrot. We're going to do a VFR flight. Just kind of fly around. I'll fly towards Kankakee. From Kankakee, we'll go towards Pontiac. We're not necessarily going to the airport. Then we'll turn around and head back to Lewis. I just want to make sure everything's running well. We have a trip to Atlanta, Georgia scheduled for Saturday. I want to make sure everything is good for that trip. I don't know if I'll be able to film that trip. I'll ask the passengers if they want to be in a video. I always ask the passengers if they want to be in a video rather than asking their permission to film, because I don't want them to feel pressured. So I'll say, hey, you guys want to be in a video for YouTube? If they say yes, we'll film it. If they hesitate or say no, that's the end of that. When we get in the air, all right, come on. I want to talk about, should you feel comfortable and safe riding in general aviation airplanes? You know, there's all these little tiny airplanes flying around get a bad reputation. And if you look at the stats, the number one reason anything goes wrong isn't the plane's fault. Always the pilot. We'll talk about that in more detail when we're in the air. Right now, let's call and get a... Why is this getting... All right, I'm going to wait for it to kick in. Maybe it's probably because the thermostat... It's warm in here, so the heat is not blowing warm air. I'm hoping that's just the thermostat. But we will see. Well, let's taxi towards the fuel pumps, and then we can tell them we're at the fuel pumps. I know they're going to send us to runway 2. I think that's what they're using. Could be runway 9er. Wind is 060. What's this guy waiting for in front of me? If he's waiting for me, I can turn left here. Oh, looks like he's moving forward. Lewis Ground, good morning. Aztec 7181 Yankee is near the fuel pumps on Romeo, taxiway Romeo. We have information, Foxtrot, looking for a VFR departure to the south, please. We're off by one digit. It's 120,425. Lewis Ground, good morning. Aztec 7181 Yankees near the fuel pumps on taxiway Romeo. We have information, Foxtrot, looking for a VFR departure to the south.
Aztec 7181 Yankee, Lewis Ground. We're switching over to runway 2 again. Winds are 03015. Taxi runway 2 via Bravo Golf.
Bravo Golf, runway 2, Aztec 7181 Yankee, thank you. Okay. They've switched back to runway 2.
Attention aircraft base code Golf is current, altimeter 3044, runway 2 in use.
The wind shifted, so they switched runways. We'll have a couple of knots of right crosswind, no big deal. All right, so when you turn right, it swings left. When you turn left, swings right.
Lewis Ground, Skyhawk 6180 X-ray at the FBO rep, requesting taxi instructions for VFR departure for 3 takeoff, touch and goes in the pattern with information, Foxtrot.
Tag 6180 X-ray, Lewis ground, runway 2, taxi via Juliet Golf, information Golf is current, you can pick it up on the way.
You said information to 80 X-ray?
Tag 80 X-ray, information Golf is current, and you're taxiing the runway 2 via Juliet Golf.
To runway 2 via Juliet Golf, and information Golf is current, 80 X-ray, thank you.
Alright, this is
Tag
Bravo.
80 X-ray, you can pick it up on the way, just advise when you have it.
Up on the way, and we'll advise when we have it, 80 X-ray.
A lot of airplanes. 1, 2,
Tag
3, 4,
81
5.
Yankee, could you say again direction of flight?
I'm heading to the south, 718 Yankee.
That's like 81 Yankee, roger.
Lewis ground, cause 5059 Charlie's at the SDO with information. Start. I'm looking at taxi to the active for 4-star taxi back.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 airplanes
Tag
waiting.
5059 Charlie, Lewis ground, runway 2, taxi via Juliet Golf.
Taxi to runway 2 via Juliet Golf, 5059 Charlie.
Tag 59 Charlie, what information do you have?
Foxtrot.
I'll turn left
Tag
here.
59 Charlie, information Golf is current. I just advise when you have it.
So those guys are still waiting by runway 9 or...
Foxtrot, Tag 6180 X-ray, we have information Golf.
Golf is current. Altimeter 3044.
3 airplanes are still in line.
Fox 172, Bravo Foxtrot, information Golf at the FBO ramp, VFR departure to the southwest.
3 airplanes are still in line waiting for runway 9er. There's 1, 2,
Tag
3, 4,
172 Bravo Foxtrot,
5
Lewis ground, what
Cessnas over
information do you
here
have?
We have
behind me
Tag 2 Bravo Foxtrot, runway 2, taxi via
that they're
Juliet
probably
Golf.
sending all to runway 2.
Bravo, 2 Bravo Foxtrot.
Alright,
Foxtrot,
let's
Tag
slow
6180
down.
X-ray, just want to let you know we have information Golf.
Tag 8 X-ray, roger.
We'll put the heading bug for runway heading for now. When we take off, they'll either give us a right or a left, or give us the option. Downwind departure. Busy place. Busy place.
Lewis ground, 5059 Charlie, we have Golf now.
Right, the
Tag
heat
59 Charlie, roger, thanks.
is cold now, so I'm going to turn this up and see if that changes things. It's still warm in here, but it's blowing cold air. I did turn it down. I wonder if that's what's causing the problem. Like there's an issue with the thermostat, because I turned it down, then it just started blowing cold air. Maybe it'll kick back on. We'll see. We will see. All right, let's do our pre-takeoff checklist here real quick, and then we'll call in to tower.
Runway 2 with the winds coming more out of the north now.
Sounds good, we'll line up the way, and then we'll plan for a right downwind runway
Flaps
2.
0, props high RPMs, mixture best power, fuel pumps on, we got the right one, left one. Cowl flaps are open. Transponder all squawk 1200, heading bug is set to runway heading, AC is off, doors and windows are locked. Landing lights, strobe,
fly out,
all on.
straight out to enter the
Pitot
right
heat
downwind
not
for runway
necessary.
2, runway 9 are clear for takeoff.
Guys, equipment not necessary, time note.
Clear for takeoff.
It's 11:25.
Fly straight out.
Release the brakes and
right
go.
Downwind. 70 Golf.
This is 54 Sierra, runway 2, clear to land.
Runway 2, clear to land, 2054 Sierra.
Tower Aztec 7181 Yankee, holding short, runway 2, ready for departure. Fuel, props, fuel.
Aztec 7181 Yankee, Lewis Tower, make it a left downwind departure to the south, runway 2, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 2, clear for takeoff, left downwind departure, 7181 Yankee, thank you. All right, let's not waste time because I heard you.
Pipeline 31 Bravo Juliet, cleared for Delta to the east.
Pipeline 1 Bravo Juliet.
All right, the
frequency
heat just
change
kicked
approved.
back
We'll
on,
talk to you
so
soon.
that's perfect.
Change approved, 1 Bravo Juliet, we'll see you.
All right, we'll clear the whole short line, line up with the center line. we've got final is clear. We've got a little bit of crosswind from the right, not much. One line up at the center line. All right, heels on the ground. Engage full power. Full power is engaged and indicating all the gauges are in the green, airspeed's alive. There we go.
Lewis Tower, Skok 6180, X-ray, holding short runway 2, ready for departure.
Positive rate, gear up.
Skok 6180, X-ray, Lewis Tower, hold short up, runway 2 for landing traffic.
Holding short for runway 2 for landing traffic, 80 X-ray.
The 70 Golf, there's going to be traffic in position, holding on the runway, departing prior to arrival. Cessna 172.
1000.
Alright, we'll keep an eye. We also have that final traffic in sight for 70 Golf.
Remember 70 Golf, Roger.
Now let's go ahead and turn left downwind departure.
And Lewis Tower 527 Golf. After this touch and go, if able, can we request power off 180s?
Remember 70 Golf, I have your request.
We're going to climb to 2500 and just level off there.
The 70 Golf number 2, runway 9, correction, runway 2, clear touch and go, then make left traffic.
Clear touch go, runway 2,
Yeah, let's go.
70 Golf.
Heading there. Altitude hold.
Lewis Tower, 13 Whiskey, clear to the south, we'll see ya. Bonanza 13 Whiskey, we'll talk to you soon. Good day. It's 54 Sierra, turn right on taxiway Bravo, and then contact ground for your taxi back.
Right on Bravo, then we'll call the ground for the taxi, 54 Sierra.
Now let's bring these back to 2400.
This is 6180 X-ray, runway 2, line up and wait.
Runway 2, line up
Put
and
the fuel pumps off. Right one, watch the fuel pressure. 1000, 1000, 1000. Left one. All right, looking good.
Lewis Tower, Skok 172, Bravo Foxtrot, holding short of 02.
Skok 172 Bravo Foxtrot, Lewis Tower, Roger.
There's an airplane to our right, 1100 feet above us.
Cessna 80 X-ray, the
Hold a little
Cessna head
bit.
is in left close traffic, follow that traffic, make left traffic, runway 2, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 2, we'll follow that traffic for left pattern, 80 X-ray.
Cessna 2 Bravo Foxtrot, runway 2, line up and wait. The next arrival is a Skyhawk on the upwind.
Upper right, 02, 2 Bravo Foxtrot.
The 70 Golf, short approaches are approved until further advised. Traffic in position on the runway will be departing prior to arrival. That's Cessna 172.
Roger, short approaches will be approved. We'll keep
924 squared. We'll just move away from these airplanes a little bit. Everything's running good. Oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel pressure,
Charlie is holding short of runway 2.
volts, amps.
Ready for departure.
The 5059 Charlie, Lewis Tower, Roger.
Everything's great.
2 Bravo Foxtrot, the Cessna head is in left close traffic, pass behind that traffic before you make your left turn to the southwest. Runway 2, cleared for takeoff.
We're out of the delta, so let's
traffic before the southwest turn, 2 Bravo Foxtrot.
get out of this.
This 59er Charlie, runway 2, line up and wait. Traffic on left downwind is the Cessna 172.
Line up and wait, runway 25059 Charlie.
123.
937 Tango, holding short, runway 2, ready for departure.
Talk 9347 Tango, Lewis.
All right, so we'll just put it on Kankakee's CTAF. so that we can have a little conversation. Now we're going 160 knots. Not in a hurry. We're coming up on a couple of airplanes, 1,200 feet below us.
Tower traffic up to 9's entering right downwind for 11.
Cabin heat's blowing nice and hot. Beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Flight director's on. Heading mode, altitude hold, autopilot's on. Everything is beautiful. Let's put this one on traffic mode. Let's put the flight plan in here. Lewis. Kankakee.
Tower traffic up to 9's, right base, short final 11.
All right, there we go. VFR, we're watching our own traffic avoidance. Of course, we have the ADSB and all of our fancy gadgets helping us. All right, so a question I asked at the beginning of the video is, if you know a pilot, a friend of yours, guy or gal. All right, so we're coming up on an airplane 1,100 feet below us. I want to move out of his way, so let's turn left. That owns a single engine, maybe a Cessna or a Piper, and they ask you if you want to go flying. Is it safe to do so? The answer is maybe. There are some questions that you should be asking this person before jumping in a plane with them. You shouldn't just assume they know what they're doing. And I'll tell you a real story involving my older brother Henry. My brother Henry, when he was in his 20s, and of course when you're young, you don't know as much as you do when you're older, and which makes you brave. That's one way of putting it. Him and a couple of other friends were all hanging out, and one guy brings up in the subject that he's a pilot. And he says, you know, if you guys want, we can go rent an airplane and I could take you flying. Well, they're all young, they get excited, they're like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Now, I don't know what this guy was thinking. They all pile up in a car, go down to the airport. He clearly was a pilot, rented a Cessna. They all jumped in, took off. They fly to Milwaukee, Wisconsin from Chicago. Well, about 20 minutes into the flight is when he had to start, planning to descend and land. And they notice this guy's just sweating bullets. And he says, hey, grab that book that's back there. It says POH, Pilot's Operating Handbook. They're like, why? What's going on? Well, I need to read something in it to figure out how to land this airplane. They all start laughing. They think he's joking. They think the guy's joking. However, he's not joking. Now, keep in mind, this is a second-hand story I'm getting from my brother who's not a pilot and from his friend who's also not a pilot. So some of the details may not be clear. Well, what do you mean you don't know how to land this airplane? So it's either it's been a long time since he's flown an airplane, or the plane he rented wasn't the same kind of airplane he trained in. Let's make sure everything is good. Yep, everything is good. So those are things I can guess. Either it wasn't an airplane he's used to flying, or it's been so long since he's flown that he didn't remember all the procedures.
Schaumburg traffic, Ramos 212 Golf X-ray, 7 miles to the west, inbound, runway 11, Schaumburg.
So you may wonder, how do you forget how to land? Well, maybe he couldn't figure out where the flaps were. Maybe he was trained in a Piper that had, the manual flaps, and this was a Cessna and it had, the switch, the electric flaps. It had to be something he wasn't used to, so he needed them to help find the information in the POH. Well, now they're all panicking. They go through the book. He calls ATC. The book was no help. They couldn't find. He's too nervous. They're too nervous. Nobody can figure out anything. He talks to ATC. ATC calms him down. They guide him, and they get him to land safely. Everyone gets off the plane. Now, before they allowed them to get back in the plane to go home, because now they have to get home, they made the guy go up, take off, and land 3 times, because it was night, to make him current and make sure he could do it, and he wasn't going to kill these people. So why do I tell you that story? That goes along with what I'm saying. If you know someone who's a pilot, whether it be your friend, your cousin, anybody, guy, gal, there's some questions you should ask this person before you jump into a plane with them. You can't just assume because the person says they're a pilot. That word doesn't mean the same thing when every person says it. So some of the things you want to ask, and you are dealing with a friend or a relative, so you don't want to make this seem like a interrogation. But you can ask these questions, and you'll find pilots will happily answer these questions because pilots love to talk about airplanes, and they love to talk about the things about their experience. So one of the things you should ask is, how long have you been flying? I'll tell you. Now, they could say, I've been flying for 10 years. That sounds like good information. It's not enough. What if it's been a year since he last flown? That is important. So the next question is, when's the last time you fly, and how often do you fly? That's also important information to know. Because, as any pilot will tell you, this is a skill that diminishes if you don't use it. If you don't stay practiced, you don't stay proficient, you lose your ability to do this well. So if this pilot tells you it's been a year since they've flown, I wouldn't get in that airplane with them. So 10 years of experience is a good thing, but that has to come along with recency of experience, proficiency in what they're doing, how often they fly. So also, it's not enough for that person to say, okay, I've been flying for 10 years. Well, when's the last time you flew? I flew last week. You should